one of the byproducts of not being able to pay a dividend during that period that we were dealing with our relatively complex capital structure is that we were no longer able to keep REIT status with the JSE. So in effect, we converted to a normal property company, or a REIC for the lack of a better word. The advantage of that is that it allows the company a lot of flexibility insofar as, its dividend flows, at what level dividends can be paid, and the nature of those flows, as is evident in what we did last year, and again at our interim period now, by giving shareholders the option to take up some Napier Rockcastle shares as opposed to cash. The real benefit for Fortress not being a REIT is our tax position. Fortress is quite unique in the blend of assets that it has on its balance sheet, being a large component of an offshore asset, the stake that we hold in Napier Rockcastle, as well as a significant historic developed owned logistics portfolio. And by that I mean circa 10 billion of in-house developed logistics. What that allows us is specific tax deductions around the development allowances, otherwise not claimable as a REIT. In our hands, we are able to claim them, and that, complemented with the stake in Napier Rockcastle, we are able to reduce our effective tax rate to very little. So shareholders that hold Fortress shares receive a dividend yield very or much comparative to our REIT counterparts or peers, but in our case it's an after-tax return. And I think many of our shareholders miss that slight nuance that the yield, whilst comparable, is certainly not comparable if you're an individual shareholder holding a Fortress share. REIT status in itself may again become something that Fortress will look at. It's a decision and an assessment that we have to do on an ongoing basis. All that a REIT is a shift in who bears the tax burden. A REIT simplistically gets the dividend as a tax deduction, but that dividend becomes taxable in the hands of the recipient. So somebody's paying the tax, and our assessment and ongoing assessment is to test that the most efficient tax position is achieved between either the company or our shareholders. So it's an assessment that we'll do on an ongoing basis, and right now with our blend, it makes sense for us, when I say our blend of assets and income, it makes sense for us to remain a non-REIT. But legislation changes, circumstances changes, we'll have to see what happens in the years to come, and it may well make sense for us to reapproach the JSE and make application to become a REIT again. For now, we remain a property company, a real estate company, complying with all the disclosure requirements that the REITs do, and to ensure that shareholders can see, on a comparable basis how we perform. But we'll keep doing that assessment and make sure we put our shareholders and the company in the best possible position.